Hello, welcome to Visions TV. I'm Shireen and I'm here with Jules Rendell. How did you find this evening?
Loved it. It was great. I love this festival. I think it's just an amazingly vibrant and different, kind of varying festival, and the audience was quite varied too, which is really cool. But everyone was just super engaged, ready to join in and sing, and yeah, I felt the love basically. I guess sometimes I feel like I talk a lot in my performances, because I really like to tell people what the songs are about, and I felt that people really understood, the importance of each of the songs that I was singing, and just to have that interaction with them it just means everything. Sometimes you do gigs and it's like people don't care. But when you do a gig like this, it makes you realise why you do it.
I love that, actually, the fact that before every song you took the moment to explain like where the songs come from and what your thought process was at the time. And as you said, it was a perfect way to engage with the audience. So I love that. You spoke about your album Imagine, and you spoke about like some mental health things that were there, and how you was in the bad space at the time. How does it feel to kind of like be able to express that? How important is it for you to be able to express those sort of not so good times, to then kind of like let people know about it? How important is that?
Do you know what? It was a really interesting progression, because the EP that I did before was called The Lotus Bloom, and it was very hopeful. And I felt that was where I was at the time. I was learning a lot about how to hope in God, and how like hope is expectation of good things happening. And so when I came to write the next album, I was not in that place again, and I felt sometimes as Christians you feel like you don't have the right to be anything other than hopeful and joyful because of what God has done for you, But actually, let's face it, like we just go through seasons, and God really uses those seasons, and you grow and you learn. And you become more compassionate for other people. And so in that season of my life, I felt like I don't have the right to not be joyful. I don't have a right to write songs that aren't joyful. But that was the only thing I had. I had to write an album, actually, because I'd done a crowdfunding campaign. And I was like, oh no, I had to write songs. And that was the only thing I had. And it all fit together in the end, because I realised I had to dig into God and find out what He said about my mental health. It's not like I was like on antidepressants or anything. I guess I wasn't in that bad a place compared to some people. But it's just the acknowledgement that we all go through stuff. And I'm really thankful, like in this time, we're actually just talking about it loads, talking about mental health loads. I just think we so need to, because it doesn't matter where you are on that scale, you're going to struggle with something. And so each song in the album, it is about how to maintain good mental health. And thankfully, the producer I worked with is just awesome, a guy called Fermi. And there is some kind of joy that permeates and hope that permeates within the songs anyway. So it's actually the best of both worlds, because I was exploring something that was quite difficult to talk about without it being really depressing, and I managed to get like 10 songs of like quite hopeful, joyful, funky, soulful stuff, which is really good. Shines the lotus blue. She awaits her space, bright to meet her. I know he's done what he planned, brought to life what was trembling and scared. He took her out the sun, mended what was broken, until her heart was won. She's a beauty that bloomed in the dark, glimmering jewels were her scars.
What I was going to say to you actually is that even though the song, as you said, you wasn't in the best space, it was still quite a like uplifting song. It wasn't like kind of like made you feel like down, and it was actually quite, you know, still on a high and on a like a nice melody. So it was really nice actually, and I think that's important as well, to even though you're going through the bad situations, to still kind of find the light in there somewhere. Also, you spoke about how one of your friends helped you find your identity, like reminded you, actually, no, that's not you. Go back to, you know, who you are. Like, how important was that for you to like identify with exactly who you are and get your perfect sound? Like, how was that? How important was that for you?
It's vital. We're totally unique, aren't we, as people? And I think a lot of depression and sorrow and bad things come out of the fact that we get a bit lost. We don't really know who we are anymore. And so it's so important to have those people, or have your relationship with God, you know, looking back at old prophetic words or whatever, just to remind what God has said about you, because that's your true identity. And I think it's something that we struggle with in our generation, probably more than ever, in that kind of like you get a bit lost. Am I this person? Am I that person? Do I want to follow that crowd? Do I want to follow this crowd? How am I going to just be myself? And so if we can rely on other people just to help us with that, it's awesome.
I definitely can identify with that, what you've spoken about, because I think throughout my kind of life I've kind of always had that kind of stopping and that lost kind of sensation. So I've been there, but I myself believed that it's just you are in that season for a minute, and then you need to then be okay for the rest of your life. So I didn't realise that actually, now that you've said it, that actually there's loads of moments that you might, you know, and then you kind of just pick up each bit, and then that adds to the fullness of your identity then. So sometimes it is someone else pointing it out to you. So I think that is wonderful what you've just shared.
You can be different in different seasons too. Like you might be going through a season where you're not, for me, you know, I'm not maybe like the happy-go-lucky, out everywhere, life and soul of the party all the time. And that's okay as well. I might go through a different season, and just to be happy with that and go, well, that's a part of me as well.
Your love is proved all he can do with a wounded heart. Oh, the petals unfold is growing and growing. As the breakup begins of the new life.
to you before the interview about how lovely you look. You're literally like glowing. And I just want to say how, how beautiful that is. How, like, in this moment, this season of pregnancy and knowing that you're going to bring forth life, like, hi, baby. Like how is that for you? How you find the journey of pregnancy and still being your artistic self?
It's really funny. When I got pregnant, I said to God, I'm so not bothered about this original music stuff. I just don't really care, because it's actually, I found it a bit of a burden, because it's a gift. And sometimes if you feel like you aren't doing very much with the gift, or you're not successful enough with the gift, then you're just not doing very well, which is a lie. Everybody, it's a lie. So I was just like, I don't care. And then for some reason, people just kept asking me to do gigs. And I just thought, yeah, why not? I'll just do the gigs. And so I've had actually loads of gigs this year, which I never imagined. And it's just so cool. I think it's the connection that I really love. Obviously, I love writing songs and I love singing. But I think it's the message that really, that's the heart of it for me. And so, so being pregnant has been fun, because I don't care about it in the same way, and so it's given me such a freedom. And being pregnant it's a crazy journey. You've done it 4 times. You know about it. What's really cool at the moment, I mean, the first half of it was just really nasty. But right now, like, baby's moving loads and kicking loads, and you're just like...
It's actually a person in there.
There's a person in there kicking away. And you're like, what? I haven't really got my head around it. I don't think you do, probably.
Even after the 4th time.
Really? Oh, Lordy. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting in 2 months' time, or 8 weeks' time. I'll be full term, and life will be just different.
But it will never be the same ever again. Okay, I'm not going to scare you.
But I just think, well, God can take care of my creativity, and whatever happens with that. I think that's the really cool thing about being pregnant, is that suddenly I've given it all to God and gone, well, you just do whatever you want. It's fine.
It's amazing. It's definitely a gift from God, and it's beautiful. So I'm glad that you're still yourself, even while being pregnant, and not thinking, oh, I'm just going to sit down and, just sit there and, but to still get up and share your gift. It's amazing, and we all need it, because your gift is fabulous. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. So you got your baby obviously coming, but what are your plans? What are your thoughts for the next coming year? Have you thought that far, or are you just going to see how it goes?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things coming up before the baby comes. I'm going to be releasing an acoustic version of one of my songs from the album, called Epiphany. That should be in the next few weeks, I think, along with the video. So that's going to be like my last act. And then I really don't know what's going to happen. I run a gospel group called Get Gospel, and that will still be running, so I'll still have a musical outlet. And who knows, people say to me, oh, when you have kids, you'll just want to write songs, because it's a whole new season. So I may get my creative on. I don't know. Who knows? It's just really like a blank canvas.
So where can we find you? That's the next important thing I would like to ask.
So my name's Jules Rendell, and you can find me on Spotify, on iTunes, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. My name is Jules Wools, but I think if you type in Jules Rendell, I come up anyway. But generally, you just have to type in Jules Rendell in Google, and you'll find me there on the net.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you this evening, and I look forward to coming to more unveiling and more sessions where you are, because I honestly loved your voice. So definitely go onto her Instagram and her social media and really listen to what she's doing. She's fabulous. Okay, thank you very much.